Yes, hello once again, and thanks to you all for returning to my Classic Dirt Bike TV channel as we check out more old school dirt bikes and racing from back in the day. Now, in this next video we're going to take a look at some archive racing footage from the Scottish Classic Scramble Club's race event that was held at Townfoot Farm in Thornhill near Dumfries on the Scottish borders on the 1st of July way back in 2007. So we're going to jump straight into the racing action, and the first up we're going to take a look at the pre-1970s racing class. Now, the weather here at Thornhill was a bit overcast, but nonetheless quite dry for this kind of classic racing. And as the first race leaves the line, it's quite a good start there by number 56, John McCrink, on that CZ 360 machine as the riders come towards us. Number 211 there, that was Peter Jackson just making his way through. But this track here at Thornhill is quite a short lap. It doesn't take the riders very long to complete a lap of this course, and of course these older bikes, the races are limited to just 4 laps, so you may find that many of these clips are very short races. So you can see the riders have already completed 1 lap. It looks like it's number 99, I think that's Anthony Ireland, who was in the lead there. Just behind him, number 150, I think that's Phil Nelson. Number 211 coming in third there is Peter Jackson. So some very quick riders out there in this pre-1970s class. But this Thornhill Scramble event is normally held in July of each year, and it's well attended, as you can see. And of course it's thanks to the Weir family who own this ground that we are able to run this Thornhill Scramble each and every year. So we're still looking at our first race leader. It's number 99, I think that's Anthony Ireland, who is in the lead on that. I think that's a Shenny BSA machine. It still looks like in second place is number 150, Phil Nelson, and Peter Jackson, number 211, is bringing up the third placed position. Peter Jackson just making his way through there, trying to challenge Phil Nelson for that second position. And number 733 there, I think that's Lee Jackson on his beautiful BSA Gold Star machine, a lovely looking old classic bike. But here's your race leader, number 99, Anthony Ireland from Carlisle, just past the Scottish borders there. It looks like Anthony Ireland is heading for his first win of the day in this pre-1970s class. So as he starts his last and final lap, it's still Anthony Ireland first. Second is still Phil Nelson, number 150. And Peter Jackson is still holding on to that third place position. And the commentary you can hear in the background there is our resident trackside commentator, Richard Wynne. And I do apologise if I'm talking over the top of Richard's superb commentary, but it's just to try and give you a bit more information with regards who is on which particular machine. So as the riders start their last and final lap of this pre-1970s race, it's this man here, number 99, Anthony Ireland, as he heads towards the checkered flag for his first win of the day on that nice Shenny BSA machine. So as he exits the last and final turn, it's going to be a win for number 99, Anthony Ireland. Phil Nelson is still coming through in second position, with Peter Jackson finishing in third. Okay, next up we're moving on to the pre-1965 up to 350 cc, some of the older bikes in this class. We have Charlie Robertson in there, we have Jimmy Allen, and a few other old motocross stars in this particular race. But Charlie Robertson's made a cracking start off the line. But as they come towards us, it looks like Mike Wiley's made a good start as well. They're number 37, sitting in about third place. Andrew Johnson just going through there on his lovely old dot machine. So as we look at Charlie Robertson there, number 6, and Jimmy Allen just close behind on that lovely Rickman old taco machine. So your race leader is this man here, number 146, whose name actually escapes me at this point. But I think in second place it's Mike Wiley, number 37. So it's your race leader, number 146. Who looks like he's riding a lovely old Rickman Triumph machine. So as lap 1's completed, it's this man here, number 146, your race leader. Second is number 37, that's Mike Wiley. I think George Hodge is also in there at number 10. There's Jimmy Allen just making his way through with Charlie Robertson just close behind there. But it's a cracking old school racetrack here at Thornhill, albeit a little on the short side with regards to the length of a lap, but nevertheless a cracking old racetrack. So it's still number 146, your race leader. Second there, number 37, is Mike Wiley, doing very well to sit there in second position. So as they make the turn to complete another racing lap, it's still number 146 who leads at number 37. That's Mike Wiley. I think George Hodge is in there in about third or fourth position. I think George was a Scottish Scrambles champion at one point. There's George just going through there in the blue. And as we look at number 123, that's Jimmy Allen on that beautiful Rickman Old Tackle, one of the famous Allen motocross racing brothers, of course. We have Jimmy and Vic Allen, and of course Robbie Allen. But here's your race leader, number 146, and again I do apologise for not being able to name this rider, but as he comes round to make the last turn and start his last and final lap of this race, it's still number 146, your race leader. Second is at number 37, it's still Mike Wiley. George Hodge is still in third position, but he's been challenged at this point. This is another lovely old classic scramble, this number 37 bike of Mike Wiley. Looks like an old BSA that Mike Wiley's riding there. So we're just taking a look at a few of the other riders as they start their last lap. Number 6 is Charlie Robertson, another famous Scottish Scrambles rider. So here's your race leader as he comes round to head towards the checkered flag. It's number 146 on that what looks like a Triumph Twin, but I stand to be corrected on that particular point. But as he makes the turn, it looks like Mike Wiley's right close up behind. Mike Wiley's challenging for that position, but this could be a good finish across the line here. But I think Mike Wiley's taking that second position, and number 146 is the winner of that particular race. Okay, now we're moving on to the pre-1975 over 300cc class. Now we've got some quite quick riders in this class. Look out for number 58 Scott Maxwell, number 53 Keith Barnes, both riders of course riding those Alan Clues CCM bikes, but as they leave the line it's a good start by Keith Barnes on the right hand side, but Scott Maxwell's going to stick his CCM down the inside to try and get the advantage as the rest of the pack make their way up the hill. Mike Barnes has just made his way through there, also riding a CCM. So So as they make their way from the bottom section of the track, it's still number 53, Keith Barnes, who leads this man here, number 58, Scott Maxwell. Scott's father, Joe, of course, builds these replica CCM bikes, and I think that is an original 74 that Scott's actually riding in this race, but it's still number 35, Keith Barnes, your race leader, second Scott Maxwell, and I think Keith is riding that 1975 CCM bike. Number 0 there is Ken Suter, and number 77 there, I think that could be Norman Barrow, just making his way up the hill there. One of the other late CCM riders who sadly are no longer with us, but we're looking at number 55. That's Tommy Anderson on the Husqvarna machine. But it's still a battle out the front here between number 53, Keith Barnes, and number 58, Scott Maxwell. And this Keith absolutely loves this 1975 CCM. I think he eventually went on to sell this bike to Ian Ridley, and Keith always said it was one of the biggest mistakes he ever made in his life, getting rid of this bike, because it was such a good bike to ride. And number 21 there, another what looks like an old 400 cross Husqvarna machine. But there's some very quick riders in this pre-1975 class. Number 86 just going through there is Grant McClure from Dunoon on the west coast of Scotland. But we're looking at our race leader, number 53. It's still Keith Barnes on the 75 CCM as he starts his last and final lap. Scott Maxwell is still in second position there, number 58. Scott, of course, and his father Joe are local to this Thornhill area, so thought Scott's not had too far to travel to get to this track. Now I'm almost sure that this is Norman Barrow on this CCM bike, number 77, the famous Norman Barrow, but here's your race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag for the very last time. It could be the first win of the day for number 35, Keith Barnes, so as he heads towards the final turn before the checkered flag, it's going to be a win for Keith Barnes on the 75 CCM. And it looks like Scott Maxwell is going to come across the line here in second position. Okay, that brings us quite nicely to the Twinshot class. This class is now known, of course, by their title of the pre-1984 class, but back in 2007 these were known as the Twinshot class. But some very quick riders once again in this Twinshot class, and they've got their hands on their helmets for the standard classic starts. Reach for the clutch and away they go. A good start by John Mitchell there, but it looks like it's number 38, Richard Charlton on the CCM, who's going to take the lead of this race. Paul Chiappa sitting there in second position as they make their way up the hill. Ken Shuttleworth just going through there. But track conditions here at Thornhill absolutely perfect for this kind of classic racing. So as they begin lap 1, it's still Richard Charlton, your race leader. Number 5 is Paul Chiappa in second place, and Ian Charlton is in third place. So Ian is chasing his son Richard, who is in first place, and if Richard doesn't get a move on, then he'll be passed by his dad if he doesn't get that CCM working. But here's your race leader, number 38, Richard Charlton. Second is number 5, that's Paul Chiappa on the Michael. Third is Ian Charlton, number 138. I'll just pick up a few of the other riders as they make their way through. Callum Sangster just going through there. Robert Kennedy, number 191, is Simon Watson on the JBR Honda machine. And number 12 there is Craig Smith on the Michael. So there is your race leader, number 38, Richard Charlton on the CCM bike. Richard, of course, quite an accomplished road racer as well as a motocross rider, but a very quick rider indeed, although Richard hasn't been racing motocross bikes for quite some time, and it's good to see him once again here racing at Thornhill in 2007. Second place is Paul Chiappa on the 490 Michael. Third position just going through is a rider I don't recognise, but Ian Charlton is now in fourth position. John Mitchell just making his way through there on the 490 Michael. Robert Smith going through. Simon Watson just going through again on the JBR Honda machine. Number 12, Craig Smith. Number 32 is Maurice Wharton, and number 191 is Donald Watson, the brother of Simon. Of course, the races for the Twinshot class are slightly longer than the classic bikes. I think these races are 8 laps of this Thornhill racetrack, but the speed that these guys circumnavigate this track at, it's still quite a very short race for the Twinshot class. So we're looking at number 5, Dunfermline man Paul Chiappa on the 81 490 Michael, a multiple Scottish Twinshot champion. Number 136 is Ian Charlton, of course, the father of our race leader Richard. We're just trying to pick up a few of the riders as they head up the hill. Robert Kennedy just going through, also riding a CCM. Maurice Wharton just going through. 190 is Donald Watson, but here's your race leader, number 38. It's still Richard Charlton on the CCM. But this very tight and twisty racetrack here at Thornhill is absolutely well suited to this big 4-stroke Alan Clues machine. 3-speed gearboxes in these bikes, of course, and once you get these things into gear, you really don't need to shift gear. You just open and close the throttle at will. But here's your second place man, number 5, Paul Chiappa on the 81 Michael machine. Ian Charlton again, number 136, also riding a CCM. And just coming through there is number 106, that's John Mitchell. Robert Kennedy just making his way through on his 75 CCM, but it's still Richard Charlton who has a decent lead over second place man Paul Chiappa. It looks like Richard is looking very comfortable for his first win of the day as he comes round to complete another racing lap. Remember, 8 laps of this Thornhill racetrack, although as I said previously it is quite a short lap of this Townfoot Farm track, but nevertheless quite a good spectacle to take a look at. Now, this event is always held in July of each year, so as far as I'm aware this event is already scheduled to go ahead in July in 2021, so maybe if you're in Scotland or in the Borders region, it might be worth while checking out the club's website at classicscrambles.com, and you'll get all the dates and information that you need from the website. So here's your race leader once again, Richard Charlton, number 38 on the CCM bike. Paul Chiappa just can't seem to get up to Richard to try and make a challenge for that first position, but nevertheless he's still battling away in second position. But a very popular class with the club, this Twinshot class, and it's usually well subscribed, and entries usually fill up for this class before the start of each season, so that'll just give you an idea just how popular this class is with the club. So here's your race leader once again, number 38, Richard Charlton. It doesn't look like Richard's going to put a foot wrong in this race, and he still has a decent lead on Paul Chiappa, but Paul Chiappa certainly looks like he's going to have a go in the closing stages as they cross the line to start their last and final lap. So it's the Alan Clues CCM versus this 1981 490 Michael. You don't need me to tell you just how fast these German-made Michaels are, but Paul Chiappa looks like he's going to try and have a go before the end of this race. There's just some of the other riders making their way through to begin their last and final lap of this Twinshot race. But as they head up the hill, it looks like it's still Richard Charlton who's the race leader. Paul Chiappa is quite close behind, but somehow I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a challenge on this last half lap before the checkered flag. But as Richard Charlton comes round to make the last and final turn, Paul Chiappa is going to have a go, but he goes wide and it's not going to happen. It's going to be a win for number 38 Richard Charlton, with Paul Chiappa, number 5, in second position. Okay, next up we're going to take a look at the pre-1975 class up to 300cc. So basically these bikes are in and around the 250cc range. But we have some nice bikes in here, some old Michaels and Bultacos and Husqvarnas, so quite a variety of machines in this pre-1975 class. And the man just in front of you leaning against the post there, that's the famous John Bethel, another accomplished CCM rider. But as they leave the line, it looks like a good start by number 86, that's Grant McClure from Dunoon. Number 55, Tommy Anderson, shooting into the lead on that Husqvarna bike, as the rest of the pack make their way up the hill. Nice looking old CZ there. So the riders just make their way towards us to begin lap 1. Number 125 just going through there is Ian Stainton on the Kawasaki. But here's your race leader, number 55, Tommy Anderson, on what looks like a 1975 250 Husqvarna two-stroke machine. So as Tommy comes round the final turn to cross the line to finish lap 1, looks like Tommy's got a decent lead over second place man, number 86 Grant McClure on the 250 Michael machine. There's Grant McClure just going through there in second place. Derek McCauley, number 29 on the Bultaco Pursang, in third. But some quite quick riders in this class. Ian Stainton just going through on the Kawasaki, number 125. Number 20 again, a very nice looking old CZ bike. But it's Tommy Anderson, your race leader, as he heads up the hill for lap 2. Remember, only 4 laps for these older machines, and you can see that Tommy is quite a quick rider on this 250 Husky. So as he comes round to complete another lap, as I mentioned previously, it's quite a quick lap here at Thornhill. Grant McClure there, number 86 in second place, but it looks like Derek McCauley is now past McClure for that second place position, so Grant is now down into third place on that 250 Michael machine. So quite a good scrap for that place. Number 125 is Ian Stainton on the Kawasaki. Another nice looking old Quacker. So it's Tommy Anderson, your race leader. Second coming through now is number 29 Derek McCauley. Number 86 is still Grant McClure on the Michael. So as they make their way up the hill, we're looking at second place man Derek McCauley. Third is Grant McClure. I don't know if Grant's maybe got some kind of mechanical problem with his old Michael. But as they make their way to the start line, it's Tommy Anderson who's going to cross the line to start his last and final lap of this race here at Thornhill. So this has been quite a good ride by Tommy Anderson on the Husqvarna 250. As we look at number 125, Ian Stainton on the Kawasaki. These were the days when Ian used to ride a Kawasaki. He now rides a CCM machine. It's Tommy Anderson, number 55. It looks like he's going to take his first win of the day as he heads towards the checkered flag. So just this final corner to go to secure his first win of the day. So it's a win for Tommy Anderson, number 55, and second position should be just coming round the corner just now, should be number 29, Derek Macaulay, and it looks like Grant McClure is going to cross the line in third position. Looks like Jimmy Allen is getting a toe start with his Rickman Bull tackle from Malcolm on the quad there. Jimmy, of course, is sadly no longer with us, but what a character he was back in the day. Okay, we're going to finish this racing highlights video from Thornhill 2007 with a look at the second race for the Twinshot class. Remember, Richard Charlton won this race in race 1 with Paul Chiappa in second place, so look out for possibly more of the same in this race 2. But as they leave the line, it looks like Paul Chiappa has made a bomber of a start on that 81.490. Ian Charlton is in second place as they head up the hill, but some very quick riders in this Twinshot class. So it looks like Paul Chiappa's made an absolute stormer of a start in this race too, so he'll be trying to exact his revenge for his runner-up place in race 1. So it looks like he's off to a cracker of a start on the 490 Michael. So it's Paul Chiappa, your race leader. I think it's still Ian Charlton in second position, but in actual fact it's not Ian Charlton but Richard in second position, being chased of course by his father Ian Charlton. And Ian's probably saying to himself, come on Richard, get a move on, get that finger out or I'm going to pass you. Yeah, you can just imagine that story down the pub with your mates. Yeah, I was racing in the Twinshot class today and I was being chased by my dad. Yeah, what a story. But it's still Paul Chiappa there at number 5, your race leader. Richard Charlton is in second position. Looks like Paul is looking quite good for a win in the second Twinshot race. Remember, 8 laps of this very short Thornhill racetrack, but it's Paul Chiappa as he comes round to cross the line to complete another racing lap on that quite rapid 81.490 Michael machine. Paul, of course, is a multiple Scottish Twinshot racing champion. I think he's won it at least 16 times that I'm aware of, but a very quick rider indeed. Number 191 is Simon Watson on the JBR Honda. Number 12 is Craig Smith. But as you can see, Paul Chiappa is already coming round to notch up another racing lap in this Twinshot class race 2. Richard Charlton is still in second place, but Richard looks like he's quite a ways behind Paul for that second place position. And Richard just coming through now on the big Alan Clues CCM bike. Simon Watson again, number 191 on the JBR Honda with those very prominent twin exhausts at the rear. Number 12 is Craig Smith, but here's your race leader, Dunfermline man, number 5, Paul Chiappa. Had a decent start off the line, and it looks like he's making good use of that early start and keeping that gap pretty constant to Richard Charlton in second position. So Paul Chiappa is riding very well on this German-made 2-stroke machine. Not the ideal track for these big bore open class Twinshot racers, but nevertheless they're circumnavigating this track at quite a decent rate of knots. Simon Watson again, number 191, Robert Smith just making his way through there. But he's looking good for a win in this second Twinshot race, Paul Chiappa, owner of course of Dunfermline Motorcycles, who do all your motocross needs, engine rebuilds and anything connected with suspensions for these motocross bikes. This is the man who can tweak your racing needs. But I hope you're enjoying this racing highlights from the 2007 Thornhill Classic Scramble. Now don't forget that in 2021 this event is scheduled to run in July on the calendar, so please go to the classicscrambles.com website and you will get all the details of the events that the Classic Club are running in 2021. But it's Paul Chiappa, your race leader, number 5, who begins another racing lap. He's had a good run here with that excellent start at the beginning of this race, and it looks like he's going to be untroubled as he heads towards the checkered flag. Now, this is the last lap of this Twinshot class race. Unfortunately, the flag marshal did not have the last lap flag out, but this will be the final lap as Paul comes round to take the checkered flag and win the second Twinshot class race of the day. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that racing footage from the 2007 Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's event that was held at Thornhill near Dumfries. And it's nice to see these old classic machines again racing on these old types of old school classic motorcycle racing tracks. Okay, coming up in my next video we're going to take a look at this quite nice looking 1988 KX500 Kawasaki Evolution bike. Now this is another one of the machines from the Raymond Thompson Classic Dirt Bike collection, so we're going to take a look at that bike in my next video posting. But until then, I hope you will all continue to subscribe to my channel as we have some very interesting machines and racing coming up in the coming year, so I do hope you will continue to support me in that respect. But until then, everybody continue to be safe and well until we all get together once more to talk about more vintage iron right here on Classic Dirt Bike TV.